Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of the latest in the long line of Pokemon products designed to cause mass hysteria in otherwise reasonable Pokemon collectors. You successfully braved the elements waiting overnight at Best Buy. You made convincing arguments that the chairs are indeed not people, and you were able to resist the attempts at lowballing by a child and his grandmother as you walked to your car. But now that you have this in your possession safely in your home, what do you do with it? Do you treat it the way the Pokemon gods intended by ripping into this beautiful and delicate packaging to expose the blubber underneath? Do you maybe keep it sealed? Kind of boring? Or do you become what everyone hates? A scalper. Can probably already guess what I'm going to be doing. As a dumb PokeTuber, I am contractually obligated to rip open any product that I come across. But while I do so, we'll definitely weigh the pros and cons of each. So without further ado, let's open the Mega Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. All right, so I was able to procure this little guy from Pokemon Center directly for around $130 shipped, and I consider myself rather lucky because this is a really cool product. But first of all, let's get the whole scalping argument out of the way. If you're not interested in any of the cards or the promos or the experience of opening cards, then scalping is definitely the safest way to make your money back if that's really all you care about. But on this channel, we like to take some risks. So we will never mention scalping again for the rest of this video. Anyways, let's open it. Let's open it and see what we get. So the argument to keep it sealed is, of course, this could follow the same trajectory as, like, you know, the 151 collections or like any other collections that are super popular, and then this will be like very shortly a $500 box in like a couple years. But the argument to open it, I think, is even more compelling, and we will get into why. But yeah, I have breached the surface or the outer casing of plastic, and we now go into the box proper. But yeah, production value of this box feels very premium compared to, of course, like every other Pokemon product, and definitely does seem like you are getting your money's worth, maybe even more so. But yeah, here is what you get. You get the sheet of promos at the top here, and yeah, this is kind of the main compelling reason to perhaps open this box, because of the promos, and also, of course, because of the wealth of packs that it gives. But yeah, this is obviously one of the cooler promos in recent years. I think some people perhaps think this art is a little too simplistic, but I'm kind of a fan of it. I really like the bold outlines. It's quite eye-catching in my opinion. But yeah, obviously it's a Charizard, so of course it will command a decent amount of value, and I think currently this is still like a $60 to $70 promo. And considering that the price of this box is $130, this promo alone pays for half of it. So if you're able to get your hands on this product fairly early and before this promo depreciates in price, because of it is almost certainly going to, because how many of these boxes were printed, probably well into the multiple millions, then it is probably in your best interest to open these as quickly as possible and maybe sell the promos if all you're interested in is to opening packs, opening product, and just, you know, having a good time engaging with the hobby the way it was meant to be engaged with. But yeah, here is the promo, but we should have another one, and this would be the Oricorio, unless I got completely stiffed. But yeah, maybe the Oricorio is hiding inside. Not sure. I didn't really watch any other unboxing of this stuff, but I believe you're supposed to get an Oricorio promo as well. But let's just double check. Maybe in here. I mean, even if we were unlucky and do not get the Oricorio promo, I still think the box is still very much worthy of opening. That's how good all the products are inside. False alarm, the Oricorio is behind this Charizard. So if any of you watching this video is also wondering where your Oricorio promo might be, maybe check behind your Charizard and not be a dummy like me. But yeah, so we get the two promos. And then one thing I also did want to check was the quality of this promos, because The little secret sauce here is that if you grade these promo cards and are able to get these cards graded fairly quickly, then you would be making back substantially more than what you put into this box, which in my case was $130. And in many of your cases might be $200, and if these cards do come back well graded, then you would definitely be making your money back and then some even still. But yeah, just on first blush, looks like this Charizard is decently well centered. So far, quality control looks decent on the front. Although, I do think the centering is slightly tilted. Not sure if that's just my eyes deceiving me. But yeah, and the back looks honestly decently clean as well. So I think there's a good candidate for this to get a 10. The bottom seems a little bit thinner here than at the top, but yeah, definitely let me know in the comments if I'm seeing things. But other than that, the quality of the card looks rather decent. And let's look at the Oricorio. So the Oricorio, the centering is also decent. I think I would have perhaps preferred this centering on the Charizard other than the Oricorio, but this art is absolutely stunning as well, honestly, and some ways I think this art is better than the Charizard. Of course, this is Shinji Kanda, so it's not that much of a stretch to say such a thing. Shinji Kanda, of course, famous for like so many arts, probably mostly for the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved. But yeah, very distinctive style. Like you look at a Shinji Kanda art and you know exactly that it is a Shinji Kanda art without looking at the name. But yeah, I think this promo in particular goes for around $40. So on top of the $70 Charizard and the $40 Oricorio, you're basically there with MSRP of this box. So yeah, I think these two, quality control looks actually pretty decent. So I mean, if this holds true throughout the rest of the UPCs, then maybe it's a good idea to open whichever ones you get and try to get them graded if you're so inclined to do stuff like that. But yeah, here's some sleeves. Sleeves look pretty cool as well. Here, ooh, okay. Here is the coin. The actual heft of it kind of surprised me. I was expecting a plastic coin. But yeah, this is actually a metal coin. So also pretty cool. And then you have these die. And then here is the playmat that you get. Of course, very cool as well. It is Charizard. Gonna use this playmat actually to display the cards that we pull out of these booster packs. All right, let's see what booster packs we got. So a lot of Mega. So here we have 4 here, 4 Journey, and 1 Surging on that side. We have 4 Phantasmal, 4 Destined, and a Surging. Okay, so we get what appears to be 4 of each of some of the last 4 sets, right? Although the last 4 main sets, so not including Black Bolt White Flare. So Journey Together, Destined, into Mega, into Phantasmal Flames, and then 2 Surging Sparks. So very good lineup, obviously. I mean, I think Journey Together is underrated. That might be the one quibble many of you guys have, that Journey Together is in here, but honestly, I don't mind. And the thing is, this UPC gives you 18 packs. So at MSRP, that's $5 a pack. That's $90 right there. So on top of the promos, you're getting at its very base around $170 in value. So that's why I think it's a good idea to open these, especially if you're getting these fairly close to the release date, and especially if it holds true that the quality of the promos remains somewhat high throughout all of the UPCs. But yeah. So this $90 in pack value is probably about to go to 0 as I open these, but only one way to find out. And I guess the other reason to not keep it, or not to keep it sealed, is that I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be too terribly hard to get these. I mean, they're all over the stores right now, and then Costco and I think Sam's Club is going to keep them in stock. So I think Pokemon did the right thing and printed these to the absolute moon. So I think you'll be able to get these for a while, I think somewhat easily. I mean, of course, it's case by case depending on sort of where you live and sort of how difficult it is to get product. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be too terrible to get this stuff. And also, You get to just sit down, look at 2 cool promos, and open 18 packs in quick succession. And you can't really put a price on that type of experience, can you? Okay, Surging afforded us nothing. No surprise there. Gonna move on to Journey Together. And the advice that I've given in previous videos when it comes to new releases is it is very much advised to splurge on quicker turnaround PSA submissions to be able to be sort of like first to market with any potential 10s of really hot cards. Again, it does look like we have something textured here. Journey Together, so that, okay, it's probably a full art trainer. No, it is a full art Volcanion, so our first sort of hit out of the way. But as I was saying, yeah, it does make sense to spring for the more expensive PSA grading. For these, I'll probably go with like their $20 to the $40 option, which I believe is like a $25 range, but I might even spring for their like $50, maybe $60 option where you get like a 20-day turnaround. Mostly because of how cool that Charizard promo is. Because it does seem like we are in another age of Charizard. It's just Charizards everywhere. So far, yeah, not much out of Journey Together. One last pack though. Still chasing that Lily's Clefairy. I mean, I pulled a Lily's Clefairy out of the GameStop Power Packs, but doesn't really count in my opinion. Okay, so no illustration rare yet. But we do get an Iono's Bellybolt EX. So 6 packs in, and then we probably have like maybe $3 worth of value, so that $90 of pack value swiftly dwindling. But even still, even if we do hit a 0, we of course have the promos. And like I said, if you're able to get those into PSA quickly and they come back at 10, I could see that Charizard being like $1,000 card in a PSA 10. And that Oricorio maybe like a $400 card. Okay, on to Destined Rivals. Would love to see that Cynthia's Garchomp. Never seen it in person. Nothing out of our first 2 packs. Here is the code card. Okay, so we seem to be getting rather cooked with our packs. But if we were to save our pack luck, would definitely have preferred to save that luck. I mean, probably for Destined Rivals, but would definitely not mind a really nice card out of either of these 2 sets coming up. And I have a few other UPCs that I was able to get off of Walmart. Got nothing. Okay, so it looks like we have maybe a hyper rare. No, just an EX. Okay, so rather unimpressive showing so far from the packs. But yeah, as I was saying, have a couple more of these UPCs, and considering that the first 2 cards came out pretty decently clean, I mean, the Charizard, the only issue here, I mean, the biggest worry that I get from these UPC cards, or these promo cards, is that the back, there will be substantial whitening on the corners because they might have jostled around in the box, but it seems like they were secured pretty nicely, and don't really see any blemishes too obvious, and the centering looks decent too. So yeah, this inspires some confidence that the quality control for these are maybe a little bit higher than what we've come to expect. So if you were worrying about maybe opening a box and getting poor quality promo cards, then maybe this video gives you a little bit more confidence to do so. We've got something in the back here. We've got a Mega Latios EX, and have not hit anything out of Mega Evolutions. To be honest, I haven't really been hunting that much. Kind of the whole allure of opening packs has been kind of diminished for me ever since I started my Pokemon gambling era with the GameStop power packs. But yeah, whatever Mega Evolutions I was able to open was not very successful. Only was able to open like Kangaskhan SIRs, which I mean, still a pretty cool card, but yeah, not as cool as the other SIRs, to be sure. All right, second to last pack of Megas. So how many packs are we in? We're in like 13 packs and not even an illustration rare. That is very stingy and kind of unfair after I heaped all these compliments on this product. But yeah, the closest thing I could relate this to is probably the SPC. SPC, of course, also impossibly hard to get and very hyped. But I think this is even better. I think the promos are better. I think the packs are better. I think the box looks better. No, SBC box is pretty cool. And I think the playmat is cooler in the SBC. Goldingo. Wow. Okay, so nothing out of Megas. Except for that EX. But yeah, not even an illustration rare so far. If you take nothing else from this video, then at the very least, I was able to take this particular UPC out of the rotation for you guys. Okay, first pack of Phantasmal Flames. We have Dawn, we have Genesect, Bramblin, and Suicune. So nothing out of the first pack of Phantasmal. Yeah, this pack art is okay. It just looks very much like the Mega pack art. But yeah, not even sure what I think about this set. I haven't really delved too far into it besides like the Charizard, of course, which is admittedly one of the coolest cards I have ever seen. Manatan, Noon, Voltund, Ambipom, and Zacian. Okay, this is looking dire, guys. This is looking absolutely dire here. We're down to our last two packs and not even an illustration rare in sight. And we won't even speak of getting a special illustration rare or one of those gold cards. Okay. Here we go. Cerule Edge first reverse, Wondrous Patch second reverse, and Palmot is our holo. Okay, last pack here to save this entire box. And honestly, even if I don't hit anything, then I think this is like a really good example of, even if you are completely blasted by the packs, I think this box is still worth opening because of the promos. Okay. Okay, and I think we've been cooked, not seeing anything textured, I don't believe. Here is our first reverse, second reverse, and our rare is a Reshiram. So yeah, absolutely smoked by the packs here. Okay, so while it does appear that we have indeed been cooked by the booster packs, I am going to remember this experience very fondly. I think the product in general felt very premium and very well put together, lending itself to a very, very cool unboxing experience. And all the knickknacks were awesome, like the playmat, the coin, the deck box that I have right here. All awesome. But of course, the stars of the show, and especially if you were not lucky enough to pull anything out of the booster packs, are these two promos. Some of the coolest and some of the most eye-catching arts that I've seen in a while, even though we are in the midst of like this whole awesome arts being released by Pokemon. I think these stand toe-to-toe with any of the premier arts that Pokemon has released lately. So my advice to anyone who's been lucky enough to be able to get this, I think it's just to open it. I think it's just to open it, kind of enjoy the whole unboxing experience, sort of revel in the majesty of these two promos. And if you're so inclined, send these out to get graded. And then the other option of just keeping it sealed, I don't know, kind of boring. And honestly, I don't think you'll have too much difficulty getting this stuff. And of course, scalping. Honestly, kind of a lot of work for not too much gain, in my opinion. I think the resale price for the box is around like $230. I think even at $230, it's a pretty good price for what you're able to get out of these boxes. So even at scalper prices, I think it's still better to open it. And yeah, that is about it for the video. Let me know in the comments if you agree or, of course, disagree with any of the takes that I have espoused in this video. Would definitely love to have a conversation as to whether or not you would open or keep these sealed. Maybe you'll convince me to keep my very soon to be dwindling stash of these sealed. But anyways, that is about it. Thank you all so very much for hanging out. And dear friends and fellow collectors, until next time.